Welcome to the Heal Your Hunger Show, where we get to the heart of why you overeat and how to stop. If you struggle with food and weight like I did, welcome home.
Welcome everybody to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive. And I hope you have joy in your life right now. I hope you've got some joy. And if you are here at the Heal Your Hunger Show for the first time and food's gotten really out of control for you, I get that you might not be feeling so joyful. Okay, so totally understand that. I was 50 pounds overweight and a total binge eater, food addict, emotional eater, all of the above. And, things got really dark for me around food when I was in it. I would isolate and I would binge and I would hate myself, and then I'd set myself up to do it all over again. So if that is the story you're living right now, I just want to say that you're so in the right place. At the Heal Your Hunger Show, we dig into the underlying causes and why we do these things to ourselves. Oh my God, it's so abusive, isn't it? So stick around, please subscribe to the show and be a part of this experience and learn how to go deeper, because we know that diets are short-lived and it's really time to have a lasting solution. And that's what the Heal Your Hunger solution is all about. If you don't know if you're an emotional eater, if that's kind of a new term for you, or you're wondering, or you're doubtful, go to the Heal Your Hunger website, healyourhunger.com, and take the quiz. You can take the quiz and get your personalized score. Find out if you're an emotional eater or a food addict or somewhere in between. And that's going to help a lot to know what your next steps are going to be. Also, join us in the Secret Sauce group. Many of my shows I record in the Secret Sauce to End Emotional Eating on Facebook. It's a group, private group for emotional eaters who want to really have a real solution beyond diets and exercise plans. So go to Facebook and type in the Secret Sauce and Emotional Eating and join us there. And lastly, definitely join us, be a part of what's happening. Have you heard? The Quit Sugar Challenge is happening. Just it's days away, and go to quitsugarchallenge.com so that you can register and be a part of this amazing experience of transitioning off of sugar. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's time. It's time. And if you have any aspirations of getting healthier in 2021 and losing weight and reaching your weight loss goals, you gotta kick the sugar habit. And none of us want to do that. I get it. It's hard to just do on our own. We're attached to sugar. We've got emotional attachments. It runs deep. But the experience I've had, and so many other women, hundreds of women have had with the Quit Sugar Challenge, is that when you lock arms with other people who are quitting sugar and you learn how to quit sugar in a sane way, one where you're not just giving up everything you love, but you're learning swaps. And I give you tons of recipes so you learn how to have really yummy foods that have no sugar in them, so you can still enjoy sweet foods, which I do. I still have a sweet tooth, but I just have ways of doing it sugar-free that's healthy, not with gross sugar substitutes that are unhealthy and cause cancer. So join us for the amazing journey of the Quit Sugar Challenge by going to quitsugarchallenge.com and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we have prizes and we have just really cool stuff happening that you won't want to miss. So, and the biggest benefit, hey, guess what? You get to, reduce inflammation in your body. Your joints stop hurting. You can lose, some women have lost up to 5 pounds in the Quit Sugar Challenge. It's just a really amazing experience. You just start feeling good. So don't you want that? Join us for the Quit Sugar Challenge. Okay, on with the show. Now, we've learned a lot this year in 2020. But one of the things we learned more than anything is that life happens, and it keeps on happening. This has been a crazy year. COVID, whoever thought that we would have a pandemic? Whoever thought that we'd have stay-at-home orders, that we could literally die from walking out of our house? I mean, it's been just so crazy. Then we had, the riots, and the George Floyd incident, and looting, and just really a lot of craziness around riots and streets not being safe, and destruction over so much anger and so much pent up rage from racism. So there's just been a lot of heated emotions, a lot of like really big experiences. Fires. We've had fires in the in the West. I mean, crazy, raging fires and houses burning down, and death from COVID, and sickness from COVID, and and thinking we're getting it, it under control, and then it raging again. I know for myself, it's been kind of a crazy year just personally. I mean, when COVID happened, I moved across country. I moved with my boyfriend to Maine. And I'll tell you, going from Los Angeles to Portland, Maine is a culture shock, especially in a pandemic. So that was intense, and but good. And I learned how to cycle. That was amazing. I was afraid to get on a bike after 30 years and, really test my body and see how strong my body actually is. Not only that, I got COVID. So that was rough. I got COVID. My boyfriend got COVID really bad. I was mild compared to him. But it was scary, it was definitely scary. And the reality that we could die from it, made it scarier. So these are just a few things I've been through on account of this crazy, crazy time of 2020. And so, it's taught me that life just keeps, throwing those curveballs. And so what I want to talk to you about is, what are you going to do about it? Like, what are you going to do, and what's your plan? So having a plan is what I want to talk to you about today, because for all the things that have happened to me personally, which aren't really anything compared to what some people have gone through, getting COVID or having loved ones die from COVID and having homes burned down. I haven't had anything dramatic happen, thank God. But it could have been bad for me. The things that have happened could have turned into, reasons to overeat and gain weight, and from overeating. So what I want to talk about today is getting a plan, because for me, I really, I've kind of sailed through this year and I forgot to mention divorce. Let's throw that in the mix too. So I've been through it's not like I haven't been through some stuff. I relocated, I got COVID, I became a cyclist, and I got divorced. Yeah, that's something. And I got serious in a relationship. So a new relationship. So there's some stuff there. And yet none of it really rocked my world. Okay. None of it rocked my world. And that's some stuff. I mean, now that I look at it, I'm like, hey, yeah, that's some stuff, Trish. But none of it rocked my world because I had a plan. And so I want to ask you what your plan is. Because if you don't have a plan for living, one that gives you consistency, one that brings you back to center, one that grounds you, one that keeps you from overeating, one that helps you move through stuff without getting befuzzled. Whatever that means. My boyfriend uses that word. So, without getting befuzzled, you got to have a plan, because otherwise, every time the wind blows, you're going to blow with it. If you're like a leaf blowing in the breezes, and whichever way the breezes blow, you blow with it, it's a very unstable and unsettling way to live. And if you're an emotional eater, that is the way of life for us, right? Like we're just barely getting through, trying to be healthy, trying to eat healthy. And the minute something happens, the minute we lose a job, the minute somebody dies, the minute we get bad news or a health scare, or somebody breaks up with us, or we have to relocate, the minute anything happens that's any bit emotional, any bit unstabilizing, we eat. And that's how it is for the emotional eater. We are like leaves blowing in the breeze. And the wind just keeps on blowing us around. And we keep on eating because guess what? Life happens every day. And so you got to have a plan. And so the reason why, to be honest, I felt happy most of the year this year in 2021. even with COVID, even with my boyfriend being very, very sick, I mean, he wasn't going to die and I knew he'd be okay, but there's some days he wanted to die because it was so awful for him and it just seemed to never end. So even during those days, I still went for a walk. I went for a walk and I prayed and I talked to God and I came back home and I had my next meal because I was on the 3-meal magic plan. I was on the 3-meal magic plan and that's what I stuck to. And I needed it more than ever. And sometimes I felt nauseous on account of COVID, but I ate food anyway because I didn't want to skip meals and start playing games with food. I just wanted the consistency and the commitment to my plan. So my clients are learning the plan. They're learning the Heal Your Hunger system. And on account of it, they know what to do when stuff happens, when life happens. They know what to do. And if they have trouble with food, if they stumble and fall, they know what plan to get back to. They have a plan to get back to, which is so, so important. So I'm just really here to stand for the plan and say, if you don't have a plan, you're going to have a tough time, overcoming emotional eating, losing weight, keeping the weight off. Okay. In fact, don't even bother trying if you don't have a plan. And your plan has got to be better than a diet plan or a food plan. A food plan alone will not get you where you need to go. Why? Because that's just the food. And if you're an emotional eater, you don't have an eating problem. You have a living problem, meaning the way you're living is causing the way you're eating. So you can go on a diet. You can swear off of sugar. You can swear off of carbs. You can decide to be vegan, in 2021. But if you haven't done something about your living problem, you're going to start craving the ooey gooey chewy foods. You're going to start slipping and sliding in no time because you got to have a plan for living. What does that look like? Well, I'll tell you, every day of 2020, I got up, I prayed, I meditated, I did spiritual readings, in my favorite spiritual books. I went for a walk, I prayed on my walk. I talked to other emotional eaters, for support and to give support. I mean, I was in it to win it. And it didn't really matter what was happening. My clients, some of them got COVID. Some of them had, family members who got sick or died, but they had a plan. Some of them had kids very dysregulated, having so much trouble with life, but they had a plan. And that made them even better able to serve their children or serve the people in their life who needed support because they had a plan. See, when you have a plan to fall back on, a living plan, it creates consistency. It creates groundedness. It creates a feeling of well-being, that everything's going to be okay. So it decreases the fear. I wasn't afraid this past year. I just didn't live in fear. Granted, when the pandemic first happened, hell yeah, I was afraid. It was the most bizarre thing I think any of us have ever been through, to have a pandemic when we had no rule book for that. We had no idea how that would play out. And everything just kept changing. I mean, it was so, shifting sands every single day. But I had a plan. And so it really didn't matter. Every day I still got up, I still prayed, I still meditated, I still did my walk, pray. No matter what, no matter if the fires were burning and there was smoke everywhere, I still had a plan. And I just really want to suggest to you that you get a plan, okay? Because if you don't have a plan, you're like that leaf blowing in the breeze. And it's just a matter of time between that breeze, turns into a wind or turns into a storm. And before you know it, you're back in the food. And you probably know as well as I do that when we start eating, we don't know when we're going to stop. Okay. It's fine to say, I'm going to let loose this weekend and then I'll get back on my, my eating regimen on Monday. But that rarely happens. Once we start, we don't know when we're going to stop. and that's why we can't trust a food plan. That's not enough of a plan. So really, really important that you have a living plan, a plan for living, so that you know what to get back to. And it's not even getting back to it. I mean, my clients are doing it day by day, and it's creating consistency in their life. It's creating a sense of groundedness and well-being, and they know what to do. Holidays come, they know what to do. Aunt Bessie comes to stay, they know what to do. Husband starts drinking, they know what to do. So get a plan. I can't say it enough, just not eating, just getting a food plan, not going to cut it for 2021. If you want to get it done in 2021, you need to have a comprehensive plan for addressing your living problem, so it has a positive effect and can help you with your eating problem. So the Heal Your Hunger plan is awesome. It's helped me for over 30 years. I'm so grateful to the man who showed me the plan. The man with the plan showed me the plan, and it's been my plan for over 30 years. And the consistency and the commitment to myself and my self-care has made all the difference in being able to lose the weight and keep it off and not get thrown by the crazy things that can happen in life. And if nothing else, 2020 showed us that just about anything can happen. And that's true. Anything can happen, and it will, because life happens every day. So get a plan, reach out to us. We're here. We're working round the clock in 2021 to help people overcome emotional eating and live better lives where you just feel good about yourself and you recognize your good qualities and you stand for yourself and you stand tall and proud and feel good about your body, and you treat your body with respect and you love eating healthy foods. It's no longer drudgery for you. All that can be yours when you get a plan. So please reach out and just know that you don't have to do it alone. My plan includes getting support, and so does it for my clients, because, we can support each other in doing what is next to impossible to do alone. So don't feel bad if you need a plan and you need support to follow the plan. Don't feel bad about that. We all do. It's human nature to not be able to operate in a vacuum, isolated and alone. Hell, why would you want to? That doesn't sound very fun. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful, because, if you haven't had success in weight loss, it's probably because you don't have a living plan. So I want you to have a living plan beyond an eating plan, and I want to support you. So sending you so much, wishing you many, many blessings, and let's get it done in 2021. Love you so much. I'll see you on the next show.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to get free support, insider health info, exclusive invites to events, and more, visit healyourhunger.com.